Hey there, Paul McIntosh here again at Stoicism for Today. What are we going to talk about today? Today we're going to talk about you may already be a Stoic and not even know it. Yeah, that's right. It took me, oh wow, I've been studying personal development and how to work with the mind for probably 40 years now. Um, I'm 67 and I've had a number of life experiences along the way, but it wasn't until actually as short as a year ago when a friend of mine, a mentor of mine, kept mentioning this word stoic. And now in my head, I knew how it could be used, when you're writing, like he was behaving stoically, but I didn't actually know the meaning of the word, to be honest. So the more he kept repeating it, the more I went, well, what the heck is this? And I looked at it and I looked at the definition and I started to do a deep dive, of course, on the searches and found out that I had actually been living, for the most part, a very stoic life. It was very simple, or I've simplified it over the years. Four basic principles of Stoicism are courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom. Now, those are just words, and what do they actually mean? And let's do a Reader's Digest version here. Courage, when Stoics talk about courage, and what they're talking about, Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, Zeno, they're talking about having the courage to stand up for your convictions, not be swayed by other people and fall back and not support what you really in your heart believe. That's the courage part. Justice, um, being fair. Justice isn't something where you go to a court of law, because let's face it, we all know that the legal system is not for everybody. It doesn't work for everybody equally as it should. It does not. That's just a given fact. So in your head, is this justice? And we're not talking about revenge or anything, but is this justice for the situation? Temperance. We can also call temperance moderation, and the old saying is moderation in all things, even moderation. So, as much as people think or are under the false misbelief that Stoics don't drink, they don't consume alcohol at all, and that kind of thing, and they walk around with a bowl begging for alms in a robe or something, that's not Stoicism. Stoicism, in this concept, is don't overindulge. Eat what you want, drink what you want, but don't get carried away to the point of gluttony. Don't get carried away to the point of being drunk. It's okay to have a couple of drinks. Let's face it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no harm in a little of something. All things considered, let's. But moderation is just a good concept to have. Don't be an extreme consumer. When you walk down your street or you walk through your neighborhood on garbage day, do you see mounds and mounds of garbage? How much do you put out? Are you putting out 4 bags of garbage every week? Are you throwing away? Are you contributing to the earth pain? There's a good one for you. Okay, so temperance. Then we come to wisdom. And wisdom from a Stoic point of view is not book wisdom. It's not the way the education system teaches wisdom. That is memory work and regurgitation. We go to school, we learn how to add, subtract, divide. We learn the proper order of a sentence. We learn what words mean and are, whether it's a noun, an adjective. We learn science, cause and effect, those sorts of things. But in actual fact, when we're talking from a Stoic perspective, wisdom is more about learned wisdom as opposed to book wisdom. Not that book wisdom has no use, it does have a use because it's also a really good starting point. But unless you are actually experiencing the thing, can you really talk about the thing? Can you really actually say you know what that is? And I guess that's kind of hard in a lot of ways, but a lot of the wisdom that they're talking about is learned wisdom, because Stoicism isn't a philosophy where, in a lot of ways, you don't sit around and talk about it. The biggest part of Stoicism is actually living that Stoic life and the principles. And those are the four basic principles of Stoicism. So, what I found after my friend talking about this all the time and me delving into it is I've pretty much lived my life that way, uh, whether it's in business, whether it's in my relationships. I don't. Although there was that period of time where temperance was a bit debatable, but I think a lot of us sort of go through that sort of phase. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that you don't want to stay there. That's for sure. Um, so I realized that a lot of my life experiences, because I've had a number of jobs over the past 50 years. I started working when I was 13. So there's a lot of life experiences in there. And the thing is, it's in a variety of places. I wasn't a specialist, let's put it this way. I wanted to sample a lot of things. I wanted to experience a lot of things. And from these things, I gathered information, I gathered knowledge, and I used that to move towards the next step, whether it was photography, whether it was gardening, whether it was a horticultural career, whether it was politics, from all of these. And I guess this is the important part. Take something from everything that you do to move you to the next phase, to move you to the next step, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's in your life. Those past experiences are something to be remembered, not to be dwelled on, but to make sure that those mistakes, if we want to call them that, aren't repeated. What do we learn from this situation? So Stoicism is a very simple thing and somewhat easy. People say, "Oh, it's simple, but it's not easy." Well, it is easy when you put your mind to it, when you're mindful, when you have your mindset in the proper place, where you want to have less anxiety in your life. You want to have less depression in your life. And I understand that some of those things, yes, there is medications that are necessary for some people. I don't think that's the case for all of them, but that's my own personal opinion. Meditation before medication. Try that one first, and really. And let's just put in here, I am not a doctor. I haven't played one on TV or in a movie or anything along those lines. So please don't consider this medical advice. Consult a professional. That's my disclaimer. But by using Stoicism, I do believe that life does get better and simpler and a lot less aggravating. Especially in this techno digio metaverse that we're all living in now, and with what's going on. But uh, have more on that later. But that's just a simple, you may be a Stoic and you don't know it kind of thing. Okay. Paul McIntosh signing off. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and the bell, get notifications. Videos get dropped on a regular basis every week, and a few surprises in between. All right. Cheers.